Black people have to seriously interrogate why we're afraid of things that come from ourselves, why we are afraid of our own cultures, why we are afraid of our own religions, why we are afraid of our own ancestors. Case in point, musical artist Rema performed in London. He is from the Edo people. He is from Benin City, Nigeria. And he showcased a reimagined mask of Queen Idia. He was riding a horse. He had images of bats. And people automatically went to, this is demonic. This is Illuminati. Whenever something appears to not be Anglo-Saxon approved, that's what we go to. And the whole time, he's celebrating aspects of his culture. He says, Ravage Uprising, my ancestors' bronzes sit in the museum of this very city. So I remade mine. Hence, Edo is redefined, the map reshaped, your minds awakened, and the mask reborn. And he's absolutely right. African cultural artifacts have been stolen and taken by the same Western societies and institutions that taught you to be afraid of them. And so while you're afraid of your ancestors and you're afraid of your cultures, the very same people that taught you to be afraid of them are utilizing them for their own benefit. Let this be a lesson that everything African ain't evil. Everything that come from Black people ain't evil. And if you don't take back the narrative and control of your ancestors, somebody else will.
Not only did this entire situation show just how self-hating we are as a people, it also showed just how ignorant we are when it comes to our own history. It goes to show just how our educational system has failed us in this country, Nigeria. Because first of all, imagine not even knowing who Queen Idia is. A national hero, a treasure, a revered queen from the Edo Empire, a queen from the 16th century. Imagine not knowing who she is. And not only do you not know her as a Nigerian, you then go to call the reenactment of her mask a mask that celebrates who this great woman was, a mask that honors who this great woman was. You call this mask demonic. Like, I don't even know what to say. The way our educational system has failed us. And then you add on top that, like as if it wasn't bad enough, what these Abrahamic religions are doing to us and how they are making us see ourselves, how they are making us want to run further and further and further and further away from who we are, our history, our culture. And not only do we run away from them, we demonize them. And when we do come by people who are actually more self-aware than we are and are more in tune with who they authentically are as African children than we are, and actually more self-loving than we are, we demonize them as well. And this situation also reminds me of Omalay's So-So music video. I remember how some people nearly lost their marbles when this music video was first released. They were screaming demonic left, right, center, talking about how Omalay is now a member of the Illuminati because he dared to have in his music video a representation of an African deity. He dared to have a touch of African authenticity in his video. And now man was an Illuminati member. And when they saw him bow in front of this deity, they lost it. That was it. Omalay now worships the devil. And the crazy part for me is that in my entire life, I have not felt how I felt from watching a music video the way I felt when I watched this music video. For me, this just might be one of the most powerful music videos I've ever seen. Because the way this video took me home, and when I say it took me home, I don't mean like to a house or something. Like, it took me home somewhere within my core. I was so like touched and at peace, but at the same time, I felt so seen, even though I wasn't the one in the music video. I felt so seen and empowered. I don't know how to put it, but the African in me came even more alive when I watched this video. And it's crazy to me that other Africans saw these videos and they were going, oh my goodness, what the fuck is this, demonic? And it's crazy to me how you would find the same Africans who are so repulsed by their cultures, by their traditions, by their spiritualities, by their African deities, would be the same Africans who would sit through a Hollywood movie that is about Zeus and they would not be repulsed by Zeus. They would not think Zeus demonic. And what's even more unfortunate is that all the parts of us that we so dangerously hate and are desperately trying to run away from, them folks are holding on to them for dear life. It's crazy that we have African people who are screaming demonic at their own cultures. But if you go to the Vatican Museum, the artifacts and symbols that represent African deities, African spirituality, African tradition, African cultures, African spiritual practices that we cannot wait to shit on and piss on and talk down to and scream demonic at, they all are there in the Vatican. So while we are here screaming demonic, them folks, they use our things till they glow. They use our culture till they shine. They use them till they enrich themselves. They came here and told us we are demonic, and we say, okay, I think they are right. It's true. We are really demonic. But they carry all our property that are supposed to be demonic. If these things are so demonic, why did they take them in the first place? If they are so demonic, okay, they make mistake when they first carry them. Why have they not returned the demonic goods? They were so demonic. Why were they not burnt when they first came in contact with them? African people, we need to wake up. We have turned our backs on who we authentically are as a people. And most importantly, we have turned our backs on our ancestors. And we wonder why our stories still never change. That's one of the reasons. I cannot tell you how proud this made me, not only as an Edo girl myself, but as an African child. Rema opening the O2 Arena wearing his own reenactment of the Queen Idia mask and riding on a horse like she did during her reign. It's the most beautiful thing I've seen all year, and such an amazing representation. And I'm here for all of it. These guys really give me hope for this continent and shows to me that we are making some progress as a people. Because coming from where I know we are coming from with all the insane movies that Nollywood has been making over the years, demonizing our cultures, our traditions, and our spiritual practices, this is progress and some mother's positive representation of who we are as a people for a change. Like, my goodness, it's about time. I live for how heavily African culture, African spirituality, and the divine feminine was displayed in this video. These are major wins and they bring so much joy to my African heart. Not only are they unapologetically owning the narrative of who they authentically are and who their ancestors are, they are also changing the narrative, and I'm here for all of it.
Imagine us Africans being so mentally colonized that when someone tries to go back to their culture, Africans are the ones that are calling him out and saying that he's been demonic. Imagine this, you are Rema, an African artist. You just got the opportunity to perform in one of the biggest arenas in the world, representing your own people. And you decide, you know what, I'm going to honor my ancestors in this. I'm going to show everyone what my heritage and culture looks like or looked like before colonization. So you get the mask, you get everything. You do it perfectly. And at the end of everything, you're so proud because you just represented your ancestors and what our culture looked like, Southern Nigerian Benin estate culture looked like before colonization, right? But then when the concert is done, you get online and it's your own people calling you demonic for representing their own culture. And now you have to come out and make an Instagram post and tell people, look, this is my culture. This is actually your culture. This is exactly what I was doing. After people called you Illuminati and everything.